All right, good morning. We're going to start. If everybody wants to gather around, it looks like there's some space under the tent in case it starts to rain, so please pull it in. You guys are all ready. Hey, so good morning. I'm Mike Kelly. I'm the General Superintendent and CEO of the Chicago Park District, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to a very active construction site here in Brighton Park. I want to thank all of you for being here, but I want to give a particular shout. Adults are great, but when you're in the kid business, I want to give a shout out to all the kids. These are all these guys are from Shields Middle School. So soon, this very impressive pile of dirt is going to be a distant memory, and in its place is going to be a 17-acre park and a facility that will provide a little bit of a respite from the traffic on Western Avenue, the Orange Line, and the occasional plane, right, that us Southsiders know and love that flies overhead about every minute and a half to Midway. We're going to break ground today. This is going to be the future home of the Chicago Park District headquarters, but we're also affectionately calling it El Campus, the campus, because this isn't just about our headquarters. This is about a multi-purpose field house and green space for our neighbors in Brighton Park, in Gage Park, and in back of the yards. Now, this isn't the first time the Chicago Park District's moved in recent times. In fact, we were at Soldier Field for it seems like forever, and people still send us mail to Soldier Field. But we've been in Streeterville, I think, for the last 20 years. And but this is an exciting, essentially, next chapter in the story that we're writing. We're coming to the neighborhood. We're coming to the South Side. Yep, you clap. Thanks, Larry. So let me share some details with you. This is a 58,000 square foot multi-story facility with 14 acres of multi-use green space. This is essentially a win-win for the park employees, for the city, and of course for the neighborhood. And it's a win for the neighborhood because that field house is going to be state-of-the-art, 20,000 square feet, and it's going to bring all those recreation, cultural, and educational opportunities we talk about all the time bringing into a neighborhood. All in, this is a $65 million investment in the neighborhood. And like I said, we're bringing park employees with it, over 200 full-time employees to be exact. And I can attest, with those employees comes buying power. Park employees spend money. They've been spending money a long time in Streeterville, and they're going to be spending it now in the South Side. Again, turf fields. Yes. Some other details, there will be playing fields. There's going to be a playground. There's going to be natural areas. There's going to be a spray feature. There's going to be a gymnasium. Tons of green space, tons of space for the kids. And I also happen to be the chairman of the National Recreation and Park Association. And with that distinction you get a lot of visioning. This is the future, not only in Chicago, but I think in every urban center, is building these campuses, bringing the community into the fold, into the investment. Like I said, this is El Campus. I do want to give a shout out to John Ronan. Where's John and his team? John is the brains, the architect behind this concept. I also want to give a shout out to all the folks at Passion, as well as All Construction Group. I want to thank them both in advance for bringing this project in on time and on budget. And look, I don't need to tell the community that you're active. I don't need to tell the community that you need green space. You're one of the highest need per acre of green space in the city. And that had a lot to do with why we chose this site. We looked hard at the west side, we looked hard at the south side, and these 17 acres came to us, and it was just a perfect fit. This is a location we need to be in. This is an area that needs investment. It's certainly an area that needs green space. Really quick, couple other features. Not only with the artificial turf, lighting and seating, there is going to be a grand lawn. There is going to be walkways throughout. There's going to be 200 parking spaces. Let's face it, we need parking here. There's going to be 100 bike parking spaces. This truly is, and I think I've listed the facts enough, this is an investment. And this is, I think this is as much in line, Mayor, with your vision of investing in South and West. This is about bringing investment to the South Side, to the West Side. This will bring construction jobs, a lot of construction jobs, probably over 350 construction jobs. I do want to mention there will be a job fair very, very soon to essentially enlist the talents of the local residents, bringing folks into the fold here. We are also soliciting your input on our website. There's a virtual community meeting scheduled August 4th from 6 to 9. Again, if you need any details on this, certainly grab me, grab my staff afterwards, or go to our website, chicagoparkdistrict.com. And lastly, I just want to put an exclamation point on Invest Southwest and the mayor's vision. Last week we were in Roseland, Pullman on the far south side, and we were cutting a ribbon on Gately Park. It's a state-of-the-art indoor track and field. It's an over $60 million investment. It is Invest Southwest, and it took 50 years to make that vision a reality. We're not anywhere near that. This field, this is going to be done winter of 2023. I do want to thank my entire team, not only for this, but sticking with us on all these projects, because they don't happen overnight. A lot of people had a lot to do with this. It really does take an army. And of course, I want to thank not only Alderman Cardenas, who's with us, but I do want to thank the ongoing support from Alderman Burke and Alderman Lopez, who have not only going to be a great neighbor, they've been very supportive of this project throughout. And certainly, last but not least, this ambitious effort, it does not happen without Mayor Lightfoot. It doesn't happen. I cannot stress that any further. The mayor had the vision for Invest Southwest. The mayor took office and supported us on this project from day one. And I am really, really excited to break ground, and I'm really, really excited to deliver this in, 2023 winter. It'll be right around the corner. So with that, it is now my pleasure to invite the mayor of the city of Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, to the podium.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
All right, got it.
I want to take this opportunity to speak about a different but related topic, and to speak directly about the violence that continues to wreak havoc in our city. Gun violence, make no mistake about it, is the #1 issue plaguing the city in this moment. My daily focus never wavers from this crisis. And I want our residents to know that gun violence is the issue that I wake up thinking about, it's the issue that I go to bed thinking about, and it's the issue that wakes me up in the middle of the night. I also want you to know that I recognize that people are scared. People all over this city. This is the topic of conversation. And gun violence is holding us back from realizing our individual potential and our potential and greatness as a city. Too many people, especially those in historically violent neighborhoods on the south and west sides, neighborhoods like this one, are just plain scared. Scared to come out, scared to congregate, enjoy the warmth of a summer day or night, for fear that ordinary moments will become the scenes of tragedy. This reality is what pains me personally the most. That our elders or our children are living under the daily threat that their lives will somehow be cut short. We've experienced too much bloodshed in this city, too many funerals, and too much trauma. There are a lot of great things that we can and should be proud of that are happening in our city every single day. This groundbreaking being one of them. Our talent, innovation, and peer grit are second to none anywhere. We led the nation in our equitable response to COVID, and the core strength of our economy are shining through and leading. We're leading here as well. But I know that unless every one of our residents feels safe in their homes, on their block, in their neighborhoods, and across our city, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. The cloud of violence that hangs over our heads and blots out all of the sunshine that we should be feeling, having come through a difficult, dark period. And yes, we are actually making progress. The data tells us that. Year over year, month over month, both homicides and shootings are down. But I also know that this statistical progress is cold comfort to the individuals and neighborhoods who are still living in daily fear. There are a lot of investments that we have made and we will continue to make, not just in policing, but in our people that address the root causes of the violence. And some of them are, we've increased funding for community approaches to violence and reduction by investing nearly $25 million in 2020 and 2021. That's a 1,400,000% increase. We've increased our homicide clearance rates. We've created the city's first wide strategic plan to address gender-based violence and human trafficking. And we've invested in programs in our youth. But none of these matter if we don't address the daily drumbeat of shootings and homicides. So I want to reassure the public that not only of my commitment, but of our resolve to fight and make sure that this plague of gun violence is one that we win once and for all. But I wanted you to not just trust my words. We have to back up those words with concrete, tangible actions. And over the course of the next week, we will detail even more specific investments designed to address not only the long-term systemic root causes of the violence, like lack of investment and poverty, lack of opportunity. Those are real in our city, and we're doing everything that we can to address those. But we will also be announcing specific investments to address the immediate consequences of the violence that we are experiencing as a city. So that's why today I want to make another specific announcement. You've heard me say this before, and I will keep talking about it until it is no longer true. Our city is awash in illegal firearms. Just this year already, the Chicago Police Department has taken over 6,300 illegal guns off the streets. We are on pace to break the record that we set last year. We'll be over 12,000 illegal firearms taken by CPD this year, which will dwarf New York and LA combined, over double. Why is that so? Because there are too many guns on our streets. And we don't have to wait for others to step up, and we haven't. But we need to think creatively about other tools. That's why today I'm announcing a $1 million reward fund. A $1 million reward fund for information that leads to the seizure of illegal firearms. We are setting up a structure for people to provide tips, anonymous if you so desire, to point us to the presence of illegal firearms. If they are in a house, down the block, in a car, in a secret stash, we are calling on our residents to overcome your fears, to no longer be hesitant to report the presence of illegal firearms. This moment that we are in demands each of us to dig down deeper, to step up, as I said before, to overcome our fears. We need everyone's help to make sure that we are doing everything that we can to address this horrible plague of illegal firearms. And my hope is that this $1 million reward fund incentivizes people to step up, to speak out, and to help us reclaim our streets from the shooters and the violence. The specific details on this fund will follow, but the point is this: this crisis demands bold and creative action. It demands more of each of us. And as your mayor, it demands more of me. I willingly and unapologetically accept this challenge. And I hope and certainly pray, with God's grace, we will work through and lead ourselves to a better place, to get through this challenge just as we have led and gotten through COVID. And I will repeat, until our residents feel safe, nothing else matters. It has been and will remain my highest priority. And part of making residents feel safe is making investments. And that's exactly why we are here today. We are here to break ground on a project that will bring positive change to this Brighton Park community. Today we're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Chicago Park District's newest facility, and Superintendent Kelly really laid out, I think, why this investment is so important and how it will benefit the neighborhood. I want to say this: our Park District could have chosen any of other 19 locations that they initially identified as potential sites, including sites downtown. However, they intentionally chose Brighton Park because they know how important investment in communities on our south, southwest, and west sides is, especially those that are near commercial corridors targeted by my administration in our signature neighborhood investment program, Invest Southwest. This project is adjacent to the New City Invest Southwest corridor, meaning that once it is completed, it will attract people from all over our city to visit the area and enrich the local economy. In addition to an approximately 58,000 square foot multi-story administration headquarters, this project will also feature approximately 20,000 square foot public field house building, complete with a gym, a fitness center, multi-purpose community rooms, and much more, as well as allow the Park District to make outdoor park improvements, including artificial turf athletic fields with lighting, a grand lawn, walkways, parking, playground, spray pool, and a natural area, which will help residents address the wants and needs and concerns that you have articulated that you need right here in this community. Throughout the planning process, the Park District makes sure to engage all of you, as they held 3 large stakeholder meetings, a virtual presentation in April of 2020 for more community input, and a large virtual public meeting again in August 2020, with all presentations and communications offered both in English and in Spanish. Furthermore, bidding for this project was an extensive, unique, and collaborative effort, and eventually a joint venture between FH Passion, one of our leading local construction companies, and All Construction Group, a Latinx-owned construction company located in Cicero, were selected to build this project. That means this project, which is located in this majority Latinx community, will not only be representative of the surrounding neighborhood from start to finish, but give a local company and minority business a critical opportunity to partner with our city and grow their business. Importantly, this project will also bring over 350 construction jobs to this neighborhood and requires at least half of those employment opportunities to go to city residents, with a hiring preference for those from the 8 community areas surrounding the site to ensure that residents living right here will be the ones who directly benefit from the investments in this development. Ideally located right next to the Orange Line, this new Park District project will give employees, residents, and visitors easy access to the incredible amenities it will offer, as well as stimulate economic activity within the Brighton Park community. And as I mentioned earlier, this project supports our Invest Southwest initiative, as it not only shares a border with the Invest Southwest community area, but is less than a half a mile from the New City Priority Corridor, allowing it to both benefit from and amplify existing investments. And I just want to close by saying this. I want to thank FH Passion and All Construction for partnering. I want to thank Mike Kelly and the leadership of the Park District, but I also want to say to the people of this community, we hear you when we see you. We know that for many years you have been asking for exactly these kinds of investments. This is an investment that will not only benefit our young people, give them an opportunity to invest in themselves, in healthy, productive activities, but this project will also benefit the entire community, all generations, which I know is important to this community. I want you to know that we are thoughtful in making these investments so that we can benefit the entire community, from the construction to the operation and execution. We want to bring and build wealth in this community. So I want to thank you all for your partnership. I want to thank all the people who made this moment possible. And I want to say that we will continue to work together. When we are together, even if we disagree on issues, if we are together and united with a common sense of purpose, there is nothing that we can't do as a city. There is no challenge that we can't overcome. And I am confident that we will do that by working here together, as we have done, to bring this project to fruition. So thank you all. God bless you all. I want to give a shout out to John Ronan. I remember you from Christ the King and your commitment to community. So I thank you very much, sir. And with that, I'd like to welcome Craig Chico to say a few words. For those of you who don't know, and you should know, Craig is a person who has such great heart for our city, for these communities. He has been a tremendous partner. He's pushed us when we've needed to be pushed. He's pricked our consciousness, and he is a tremendous leader, and I'm grateful to call him a friend. Craig.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and thank you for allowing me to speak today. From the community perspective, what real Chicagoan, what true Chicagoan doesn't identify with either their church and parish or their school or their park? The fact that this new facility will be built right here means that the trajectory of so many of the kids from this community will change forever, because it's not just going to be a headquarters with job opportunities, as the mayor and the superintendent alluded to. It's going to be a park. There's going to be activities here. This is going to be a safe space. And I didn't plan on speaking about this until I heard the mayor's remarks, but safe space means everything. It means everything against violence. We try to work at every night, but safe space can't mean having the police engaged with you, the entire district of the 9th district at all your events. It means having parents and adults and children in a place like a park. You got to have some place for them to go. Safe space means something physical, but it also means something much more. It means parents and friends and community leaders and stakeholders and aldermen and all adults being examples for kids. That drives the violence away. That's what this place is going to be. It's going to mean something to every child in this community for the next 2, 3, 10 generations. I'm so appreciative to the mayor for having the gumption to make sure this got done, to make sure we see this project to the finish line. I'm so appreciative of Superintendent Kelly for choosing this site. No, as he mentioned, the site is now in Streeterville. I don't know any kids from Gage Park or Back of the Yards or Brighton Park that are going to Streeterville to play soccer or basketball, but they can do it at this new headquarters, and that means a ton. It means so much for our kids and their safety and their well-being. It means so much for the Invest Southwest corridor, which is the mayor spoke of. I'm the corridor manager of that. This means so much to that development. It means so much to investment. It means so much to the future. People realize this city, more importantly, this community, is worth investing in. Our kids, our families, we're worth investing in. This is the first time in my lifetime I can actually remember seeing something as grandiose, as iconic as the Chicago Park District headquarters being built on the south side of Chicago. I was born and raised not far from here. I went to Kelly High School. This has never taken place in my lifetime. I'm so honored. I'm so thrilled. I'm so happy for all of our kids and our families and our entire city that this is happening. So I will be brief, and I will thank you all once again for all your commitment. I would thank the aldermen. I would thank all the aldermen. I would thank Superintendent Kelly and the mayor, especially the mayor, as Mike Kelly alluded or spoke directly of, and her administration for making sure that we got some community wealth building for real. This is the wealth building we talk about on paper, but this is it in reality. This is it happening, and so much more. So thank you all for all you've done to make this happen, and now it gives me great pleasure to introduce a good friend and a great community partner and a great builder in all construction, Louis Puig.
Hello, my name is Louis Puig, and I am the president of All Construction Group. My team and I are very excited to be working with the FH Passion Group and to bring John Ronan's dream of this building to life. This is a great opportunity for the neighborhood and for the Chicago Park District to build something iconic, and we're all going to try to build it together. As a Latino family-owned business operating in the Chicago area since 1959, that's when my dad started the business, we are proud to work on a project that is committed to employing talent from the surrounding communities. Our goal is to provide valuable opportunities for growth, and it starts by hosting a virtual job fair on July 28th at 11 a.m. Our partners, FH Passion, are equally committed to fostering future talent and making an impact on the communities that we service. They have created a leadership and internship program for this project through the Budding Builders program. These teens will gain exposure to the industry and become the future of tomorrow. We hope that through job fairs and programs like these, we can help bring more opportunities to communities like Brighton Park. We are grateful to Chicago Park District, Superintendent Kelly, Mayor Lightfoot, and the whole Brighton Park community for allowing us to participate in this project, and also on the Invest Southwest program, which really is going to open up a lot of futures for a lot of people. Thank you very much.
And if I can ask our last speaker, Don Villar, to come up, Secretary Treasurer of the Chicago Federation of Labor.
Morning. I'm Don Villar, Secretary Treasurer of the Chicago Federation of Labor. On behalf of CFL President Bob Reiter, I'm so proud to be here to represent the 300 local union affiliates and the 500,000 union members that they represent across Chicago. This is a great day for Brighton Park residents and Chicago, all Chicagoans who love their parks. You know, for Chicago's working families and for children, which, you know, it's great to see you all here. These parks are so important to life in the city. You know, I grew up in Uptown, and my family there, and in the 70s, and you know, we lived in a walk-up, and you know, crowded walk-up and crowded high-rises, and you know, the only thing the kids in the neighborhood on the block, we'd play in the vacant lot across the street. But every now and then, you know, we'd walk with my family a few blocks to a different life, a different world, a Chicago park, right? And it's a great place to just sort of, you know, get away. And the parks offer, you know, places to play, a break from the sweltering heat of the summer, and in wintertime, I mean, get away from cabin fever. So the connection to nature. And as somebody mentioned earlier, a moment from, you know, peace and noise from the neighborhood. So it's a restful garden, Chicago is the city in the garden, and the Park District, they're the people who tend this garden. So today marks such a new beginning, echoing that again, a new chapter of the Chicago Park District. This spectacular new headquarters that's going to be going up here matches the beauty and importance of our city's parks. This new facility, along with the field house, fitness center, playing fields, playgrounds, and open space, it means so much for Brighton Park families and the surrounding neighborhoods. And you know, Chicago's unions play an integral role in the Park District system, and they'll be at the center of this new facility. From construction to maintenance to administration, this new headquarters will be union-made, just like the Park District itself. You know, the city's labor force is second to none exactly because of union labor. And I want to recognize all the union men and women, the tradesmen, the tradespeople here, and give them a thank you for making this happen. And you know, quick shout out to our union members covering this this historic event, our SAG-AFTRA members, our News Guild, Writers Guild, NABET Local 41, the IBW 1220 journalists. Thank you. You know, thanks for reporting on this story that's so important to our community, to our city, and to all these stories that are so important to the people of Chicago. And again, you know, unions built and continue to build Chicago. And today marks such another great milestone in relationship between labor and our city. Again, thank you, Mayor. Thank you to the Park District for including us in this historic day. We are thrilled to be part of this project. Thank you.
We're going to do the groundbreaking, then we'll take questions. But I also wanted to acknowledge the alderman who's here, Alderman Ed Burke, thank you for your participation and support of this project. And I also want to thank my friend Alderman George Cardenas, who also is a great champion for this community and economic development around the city. So thank you both.
Could we,
solo today? Okay. All right.
I don't
Yeah.
see Fred. Where's Fred?
Too far south.
Yep.
So, Mayor, could you give us a little bit more details? The $1 million in tip money, is that city money? Where did you get that money from?
Yeah.
How will it be distributed? Was this a community idea? Where did this come from? And so, per tip, is there sort of an amount, or does it depend on what
we're
the
going to
tip
work through the details, and we'll let you know about those as soon as they're worked out. But this was an idea that candidly came to me. I think we've got to incentivize people to think about what's happening with guns. I know that there are a lot of people who know things that are happening in the neighborhoods, but are too fearful to come forward. They're concerned about the consequences for them or their family. So not unlike what happens on a regular basis with putting up reward money for tips that lead to information in crimes, this is a crime. and this is a crisis, and we've got to think big and bold about how we break through and get people's attention. So yes, this is money that's going to be coming, I believe, from our corporate fund. So I called the budget director and said, okay, here's what I need. But we'll get the specific details about how people, it's going to run through the CPD tip line, but we'll get specific details out as to when it will be active. Yes, we will be giving out individual amounts, but we're going to work through those details and let you know.
Today, the ACLU announced that it plans to sue CPD for details on monitoring social media. Your reaction to that?
Well, I haven't been given any prior notice that the ACLU is intending to sue. Typically, they would reach out and engage in conversation, so I'm not aware that that happened. I don't typically comment on pending litigation. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen a letter. I haven't seen a case, but here's what I do know. What we know is that there are a lot of crimes that are being described on social media. There's a lot of things that are happening on social media around protest and unrest. CPD has made a specific effort to only monitor open sources on social media. Obviously, that's something that I've emphasized. It's important to us. We've got to do this in a way that doesn't violate anybody's expectation of privacy or constitutional rights. So I'll be interested to see what the specific issue is that the ACLU is talking about. But at this point, they have not contacted me or my office to my knowledge, so I can't really offer more at this point.
Heather Sharon asked me if I could pass this one on.
Sure.
What do you think about the OIG audit that would stop alderpersons from picking their ward superintendents?
Yeah, I got asked about that yesterday. That's kind of the third rail, as you well know. I think that members of the City Council have to have the tools that they need to be able to address pending issues of immediate concern to their residents, and that includes quality of life issues, and particularly around garbage and trash and vacant lots. And historically, that's been done through a ward superintendent who's connected into streets and sanitation and CDOT so that they can run point on those issues from the alderman. Having somebody who isn't aligned with the alderman's vision about what they need, doesn't necessarily come from the community, doesn't know what the community needs are, that doesn't make any sense to me. I understand the concern that the IG has articulated, and there's probably things that we can do to improve the system, but taking away that tool from the alderman, given the localized needs that are there, that doesn't make sense to me. All right, thanks everyone.